you go into an upper middle class suburbs, you will not see the kind of police presence you see in other communities.
In the
But what
hood.
what you will see, you will see well-funded schools. What you will see are families where the parents have jobs that pay them
Yes,
a
ma'am.
living wage at least, so they don't have to worry about putting food on the table at the end of the month or paying rent. What you will see are folks who have access to health care that is affordable and available. What you will see are small businesses that have access to capital. These are the things that you see in healthy communities, and healthy communities are safe communities. So if we as a society say we care about and we value safety, then value what Dr. King was talking about those years ago, what John Lewis was talking about, which is fight for jobs, fight for freedom, fight for economic opportunities, fight for healthy communities. And put the resources there, because when you put the resources there, the other stuff takes care of themselves.
And you know, Kamala, I've often said that's what separates you and Joe Biden from Donald Trump. That right there. You care about people. I know you are the one prosecutor that Donald Trump will not get by.
But you know, here's the thing, to your point about Joe Biden, he cares so deeply about working families and healthy communities, which is why when you look at the policies that he has been pushing, they have been about a number of things that are, yes, about criminal justice reform, including creating an independent task force on prosecutorial discretion to make sure that prosecutors, because listen, I know that needs to happen, to make sure prosecutors are not breaking the rules and breaking the law. You know, prosecutors are supposed to be motivated by justice. Justice is achieved when it's equal justice under the law. But if you have prosecutors that are doing one thing with, you know, our cousin who lives down the block and then doing another thing with somebody who lives in the suburbs, then we know that's not equal justice under law, right? So Joe is about saying there needs to be a check on prosecutors' discretion to make sure that it's equally being applied. And it's about shifting the focus, shifting the nation's focus from incarceration to prevention. And working to get laws passed that get rid of mandatory minimums. And giving states the incentive to also repeal their mandatory minimums. These are the things that Joe and I plan to do and will do, recognizing also that after people are convicted of a crime and have served their sentence, they should have an opportunity to fully reintegrate into society. They should have an opportunity to earn a good living. And, you know, I created back in the early 2000s one of the first reentry initiatives in the country, focused on young men, and in particular black and brown men, and getting them jobs and counseling. And then, you know, in those cases, I dismissed those cases against them to help them get back on their feet. And these are the kinds of things we need to do. But the point about economic opportunity and criminal justice reform, those things are very connected. I'm very excited about our plan that includes really putting real resources into black entrepreneurship and small businesses, but it's also about, of course, reforming the criminal justice system, and that's about ending mandatory minimums, ending private prisons, making sure, and this is really important, Ben, given the mass incarceration of black men in America, making sure no one goes to jail just for drug use alone, and really shifting the focus of our entire criminal justice system to rehabilitation. It means ending cash bail, so no one is sitting in jail before a conviction just because they don't have enough money in their back pocket to get out. It's about, again, reimagining what safe and healthy communities require, which is a real investment in not only in entrepreneurship and access to capital, but an investment in helping people with job training and job skills. It's about an investment in a mental health system that works, again, for the public schools, and just closing the racial wealth and income gap, which is profound. And, then it's also about what Joe and I are committed to do, which is always prioritizing the health and the safety and the well-being of the Black community. But it is, back to the point of the march, it is about making sure people have access to jobs and access to opportunity and access to hope. And access to democracy and the right to vote unimpeded.
We can never forget the criminal justice reform could all be hindered by all the judges that are being appointed and nominated from the Supreme Court on down